And slowly but surely, I had so many kids around me. And although we couldn't communicate, there was only one thing that I could do.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Amarna Maria. Welcome to Malay Rex channel. Apa khabar semua? Saya harap semua sihat je. Okey, hari ni saya nak react video Solo Indian Girl in Bangladesh Before Corona. Dhaka, Sylhet, Chittagong, Rangamati. Oh, wow. Daripada channel Srishti Tehri. Okey, sorry Srishti. Okey, jom kita tengok video ni.
I traveled to Bangladesh in the very hot and humid month of May. Why? Well, let's just say the flights were cheaper. I decided to spend 10 days in the country, and to be honest, I did not get enough of it. Because really, Bangladesh is beautiful. Okay, now come along. I'll show you what a little bit of my trip looked like. Let's start off with the capital city of Dhaka. What a mad, vibrant, intimidating city. Fun fact, it's actually the most crowded city in the world. This is Old Dhaka. Let's call it a distant cousin of Chandni Chowk in Old Delhi. Iftar is the evening meal with which Muslims end their fast during Ramadan. This is the Iftar market, hence so much food. Would you just look at the size of that jalebi? Anyway, I also wanted to share some pictures with you from that day. Almost forgot to show you the money. As of 9th April 2020, 1 USD equals almost 85 Bangladeshi Taka. Moving on, this is also a little bit of what Old Dhaka can look like. This is a really old, incomplete Mughal monument called the Lal Bagh Fort. Please note that Dhaka is the worst traffic you will ever see. Hence, it is recommended that you use Uber Moto to go around. My Airbnb host also took me around a couple of places, but I forgot to record them. So we'll have to make do with just this. I'm not a big fan of cities, so one day was enough in Dhaka. In the evening, I took an overnight bus to Sylhet. Oh, Sylhet made me so happy. It is a beautiful city in northeastern Bangladesh, famous for its tea plantations. It was a part of colonial Assam for about 70 years till 1947. Now, it is only an hour and a half away from the Meghalayan border in India. Sylhet is also called the City of Saints, for it was the great Saint Hazrat Shah Jalal who propagated Islam in this area in the 14th century. The international airport of Dhaka is also named after him. Also, I had never seen such spotty, fluffy pigeons before.
Malay?
Punjabi.
Punjabi. Punjabi तो सीख लेना
तरह तरह के होते हैं.
आपका सब इतना है इंडिया से इतना है.
I spent some time with the caretakers of the mosque because the woman that you're currently seeing in front of you, she knew how to communicate in Hindi a bit. So I was just chatting away with her. And then it was time to try Bangladeshi pan. I did try it, but I didn't like it. It's like your tongue is on fire or something. It had been raining all day, but then it rained properly that night. I had my dinner, I went back to the hotel, and then the next morning, I took off in an auto rickshaw when it wouldn't stop raining with Ajaz Bhaiya to Ratargul Swamp Forest. we also stopped in between to take a couple of pictures together. As you can see, Azaj Bhaiya is quite shy. Ratarkul Swamp Forest is a freshwater swamp forest located in Gowain River. It is the only swamp forest located in Bangladesh and one of the few freshwater swamp forests in the entire world. As you can see, it was pretty cloudy that day. So, while I was in the boat, the colors around me looked pretty dull. But when I put the drone out in the air, look at that. This swamp forest is about 3,000 acres huge. 3,000 acres, and it's also called the Sundarbans of Sylhet.
আমার শালির বাড়ি যাইতাম
As you can see, I was trying to understand his Bangla through Google Translate. And yeah, at that time I used to smoke. Now I don't, so don't be encouraged by me. Okay?
Oh, no. Will you meet your sister right now?
Turns out his sister lived in the swamp forest in a village. And we were gonna go meet her. Yeah. And slowly but surely, I had so many kids around me. And although we couldn't communicate, there was only one thing that I could do.
The very kind people at Soilta Bari arranged food for me. I didn't even ask. It's their Ramzan, but they still were courteous enough to just get me food, and they sort of, it was very sweet. This is chawal, this is rice, cucumber, bananas, chickpeas, a pear, chilies, and a boiled egg.
Oh, what a beautiful family. I had such a beautiful 2 hours with them. It was so sweet. Ajaz Bhaiya then took me to his wife's mother's place also. But it was quite dark then and it was another village, so I couldn't really record anything. But that happened, yeah. The next day, I was off to my next destination. I was actually supposed to take a direct train to this destination, but then I missed it. So I reached the station, the Sylhet railway station at 8:35 and my train was to leave at 8:40. I just rushed in just to get into the train, but then somebody misled me saying that it will leave in another 40 minutes. So I missed it because it left at 8:40 and now I'm taking a bus to Brahmanbaria. But I do wish sometimes while traveling alone that I shouldn't have to feel unsafe because I'm a woman. I wish it was a more equal world. Anyhow, my visit in Chittagong only lasted for a couple of hours. I only stayed there a night. And this is my couch surfing host's daughter. I left the next morning for Kaptai Lake. So Kaptai Lake is not just the largest lake in Bangladesh, but it is also man-made. Back in 1964, 220 square kilometers of Rangamati was made to submerge in water for a hydroelectric project, leaving around 40 to 50,000 tribal Chakmas in the area absolutely homeless. A lot of them migrated to parts of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, while a few became refugees, giving birth to the Chittagong Hill Tracts conflict. The conflict continued for 20 years until 1997, and Chakmas, who were once a majority in the region, are left to being a minority in the country. Anyhow, I then took an auto from Kaptai to Rangamati. It was epic. Fun fact, I genuinely did not know that we were not supposed to fly drones because this was actually a military area.
I got off at this village just randomly just to see through as to how it looks like and everything, and I found a monastery.
About 50 years.
50 years.
And then just like that, we reached Rangamati. Then my auto bhaiya and I sat down at a local dhaba to break our fast. This is what is usually served for iftar. Now let me acquaint you with some behind the scenes business.
Wherever I go, I seem to get into trouble in restricted areas because I never know about the permissions. I was outside on the roads of Rangamati for about an hour because no hotel was giving me a place to crash, a room to crash for the night because I didn't have permission from Chittagong's DC's office. So remember, to come to this area, you need permission from the Chittagong DC office. Yeah? And so finally there was one place that offered me to stay without, even though I didn't have the permission. They just took my passport. I cannot disclose the name of the place because they will get into trouble then. However, good night.
Well, it was a pleasant morning, but a very hot one. As it is, I was staying there illegally, so I thought I might as well stay there for a bit. A local guy saw me struggling with the language at the provision store right outside my hotel. He understood Hindi, and he decided to give me a lift and show me around Rangamati. And I saw the best sunset I had seen in a few days. I honestly did not do much that day. I was quite content. He took me to some of his favorite spots, spoke about life in Bangladesh, talked about his childhood in Rangamati, and it felt really nice. I think I was very grateful in that moment. And maybe because of that, the next day,
Guys,
I met Rosalie.
Somebody who's been following me for 7-8 months met me here where I am today, and her name is Rosalie.
She is one of the sweetest girls I've known in my life. The next 2 days were spent with her and her family. The first day, she showed me around Rangamati and the various islands that are inhabited by people. And the second day was spent at her home, chilling with her family. It may have been just an ordinary bamboo hut, but they had so much respect and love for each other. The walls were covered with Rosalie's old medals, trophies from her competitions. Her father was so proud of her. She passed out of school in 2018, and when you set out in the world to help yourself, sometimes intentionally or unintentionally, you end up helping everyone. I can't wait to eat the puchkas!
Wow. Wow. Very nice video. Nama dia Srishti. Saya hampir menangis lah waktu last kali yang dia cerita dia tolong Rosie, if I'm not mistaken lah nama dia. Dia nak sambung belajar dekat India dan dia dia tolong crowdfund, dia buat crowdfund untuk Rosie sambung belajar, so dan dia dapat lah. Dan daripada Dhaka ke Sylhet, Chittagong and Rangamati, saya paling sukalah yang bukan dekat bandar lah, of course, sebab dekat Dhaka as you can see lah memang padat, ramai orang. Bolehlah pergi, cuma tak lama lah, just untuk experience. Dan selebihnya kita pergi ke luar bandar sebab banyak lagi benda yang kita boleh experience. Dan cuaca kat situ pun rasanya agak tak sejuk sangat, tak panas sangat. Dia depends on tempat kat situ dan dia tak padat juga. Tu yang paling penting. Dan kita boleh enjoy fresh air sebab kawasan kampung kan. Dan dia kata dekat Chittagong orang amati military punya tempat kan. So dia tak allow untuk drone, untuk play drone. Dan perlukan permission untuk stay dekat situ. Rasanya Rangamati, if I'm not mistaken. So sangat ketat. Okay, thank you so much untuk siapa yang recommend saya video ni. Saya suka sangat tengok video dia sebab sangat tersusun dan dia punya vlog tu tak memeningkan kepala sebab dia tak pusing-pusing macam tu. Sebab saya jarang sikit nak tengok vlog ni sebab ada orang yang kalau dia record dia pusing sana pusing sini, dia buatkan saya pening. So untuk Srishti punya vlog sangat-sangat awesome lah. Thank you so much untuk siapa yang recommend video ni, okay? So kalau korang suka video ni, share suka, jangan lupa untuk share video ni dekat kawan-kawan korang social media ataupun family members korang. Jangan lupa untuk subscribe Malay channel dan sila turn on notification button so korang takkan miss my latest video. Jangan lupa untuk follow dan like page Malay dan Malay ada Telegram dan TikTok account, korang boleh follow. Just search Malay dekat search box. Thank you so much. Jumpa korang kat my next video. Bye. Assalamualaikum.